Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is a market radar and HPS update for the week of March 28th. Now it is it's after hours, March 28th, going on to March 29th on Tuesday. Last night, Sunday, I sent out an updated HPS watch list to the members, and those setups were focused on the restaurant stocks, some of the retail stocks, telecom, and some other great setups, and a lot of those things played out today. And I'm going to review those because we're going to review some of those. I'm going to talk about the overall markets right now, which I think is an important call. We ended up taking a hedge today, bought some puts right into the 60-minute time frame. And if you followed me over the years, you know that I work with multiple time frames, and we want to make sure that that time frame is in the direction of our trade. In this case, that hourly time frame, which is our second to longest time frame, we really follow the daily and the hourly. The daily has been already negative and has rolled over. As you can see, you can start to see some action to the downside on the daily. Now I'm going to try to get rid of some of these lines here so you can see it a little bit better. You can see that daily starting to roll over here. And that doesn't mean that we're going to continue to rotate down, but you see there's a tight trend line up here. And on that 60-minute time frame, you can actually see it's much nicer. It's defined much nicer. There's no way of making this a different color. I can make it a different color, but I'm going to leave it the way it is, the blue line. But the important part is this kind of a head and shoulders formation. We're right on the trend line. We got oversold today. We look for that little bounce, and we look to short into that bounce, right into that 60. So now currently going into tomorrow, I'm looking actually on a more of a bearish outlook for tomorrow. The 5-minute was perfect. If you follow the show on DayTradingRadio.com, which you should each and every day, we're on the air from 9:30 to 4 o'clock, and I'm identifying each of these setups as they line up. And as you can see, the nice pop out of this flag brought us up to this new flag, and as this flag played out and this little pop played out, we actually started to see a divergence play out into this 5-minute time frame right here, and you can see this rise and higher high and the lower high on the stochastic oscillator here. So that was a classic 5-minute setup. We also had that on our Rambot. The Rambot is an exclusive bot that identifies divergences in the market, and we have that on our dashboard. And we actually had a perfect setup on that also today. That was, let me see if I can go back here and bring you a picture of that right there. Let me see. This was right here, 5-minute setup here, and that divergence on the 5-minute time frame. Right here is where it came into play. And as you can see, the yellows and the squares and the circles represent the short-term 1-minute time frame bounces and signals. And the darker ones, which are the 5-minute. And this is how the market ended up at the end of the day, and this is the futures chart. So we tracked this chart, this nice little channel down, a break up, a new channel down, the rising channel, everything working out great today. Very organized market. But again, we have that situation where we now have that time frame lining up. That 5-minute is pulled back. It gave us a bounce, and then we continue to pull back, making a series of lower highs, which tends to give us a bigger trend down. So we're actually looking for this lower trend line and this break of this rising trend line. And the hourly here, you can see it's up here, it's extended, it's just about ready to cross over. I think we have a shot of that happening tomorrow. So I'm looking at this, and we are short into this. So we already started to take our shorts into this, and today, which was great. We focused on this setup right here. This was our divergence setup right here, and I loaded up at 61 cents. On these puts. I actually added to the puts I already had, and from that point on, we had a nice run up. And it shows you how good a divergence works and why we look for those things. And that divergence was on the 5-minute time frame, so you can actually see it here, the higher low and the lower high. So this is where we are, and this is how we ended. So you think about the percentage. We got at 61, it closed at 81, right? That's a tremendous gain on your investment right there, and it's a weekly put options expiring at the end of the week. So, we're looking for this to follow through. It's a short-term trade based off of the 60-minute time frame, and if the 60 continues to push down, these SPY puts will continue to push up. We're already, we were negative. We held it. We started this position last week, but add into it today into the lows. Now we're back into positive, and if we push back any bit tomorrow, we're going to have a nice little profit, and we'll just take that off and just continue to do what we do. So that divergence is always the key thing that we're looking for. Always the key divergence, and that's what I'm identifying each and every day. I love it. Feel good about it. Very organized. So, again, let's take a look one more time. The hourly extended, having a hard time. You actually put in an argument for a head and shoulders topping formation. This should roll over. How far do we come down? We'll start to measure it out. We'll see how fast if that 60 is going to rotate all the way down, how that daily and 60 is going to pull back. There's some trend lines that we have to watch. This retracement trend line, this rising trend line. So all that back down to that 2,000 level. Honestly, I didn't think that we're going to get back down to the 2,000 level. So we'll watch very closely tomorrow how far we do get a pullback. If we get a pullback, I'm probably going to end up taking those profits pretty quickly. But either way, we're in good shape. And then we have our longs. And again, like I said, that watch list goes out to members every weekend. And we send them out. And you can see the setups. I want to go over some of them. Give you kind of that freebie look at things. Dunkin' Donuts here. Key flag here. One of the better flags. And, that candlestick yesterday is one of our indicators. It held a 200 period moving average. It was a recognizable pattern. It was oversold. It was just really good. It did move up here. And then we doubled down on potash today, and that was really good because it got oversold. It had an underlying trend line. Big candle today. Pretty decent candle. And we're looking for this one to push back up. And this is a big call because normally I don't get into stocks this cheap, but it had a lot going for it. So I'm excited to see how this plays out tomorrow also. Now, we're kind of setting up some stocks on the long side, yet the market is set up maybe to pull back. So we're going to be kind of in and out, hopefully rotating that, taking those puts off, taking those profits, watching the market to see if it pushes a little bit higher. But if we do get that, a feeling that things are going to go lower, maybe we'll hold on to our puts and add to our hedges and scale out of some of these setups and just get a little lighter. Right now we are kind of long. So potash was really good. Disney, again, you can't beat it. Nice little flag. We start to come out of that flag. That continues to be good. I went into detail on Verizon and AT&T, and I'll leave that on that original members video. I won't go into that right now. Cabela's the same thing. That was one of the best bets. We'll continue to keep that on the members video. But the restaurant stocks here, banging the table yesterday as one of the best bets on Brinker. Whenever we have Brinker's EAT, it's a restaurant group, and whenever we have two really intense, good trend lines that make this really established channel line, that third touch, we go through it. Even if we broke through it, you have to continue to watch it because it starts to hold here, and we pulled back to it and we held it. So going into today, from yesterday, we talked about this hold and how good that is. So we're looking for that to push back up, and it had everything going for it. So it looks pretty good on EAT. And again, that kind of helps out the Dunkin' Donuts, DNKN, which we went over, because that's considered a restaurant stock. And then Yum Brands, also very strong. And then we have Darden Restaurants, DRI. It popped up a little today. And then there's some other ones out there. Darden, Disney, went over Disney. Carnival Cruise Line, we took profits today. Nice profits today. And it came back. We took it right off the highs. Now, it opened up. We got out up here somewhere. It pulled all the way back, and then boom, a buy divergence. Tysov's mentioned that in the room. It ran basically right back up, and then we rotated back down off of an overbought level, back into an oversold level. But you can see a little negative divergence there as the stochastics kind of pushed a little higher, but there was no action on the price. So that's usually a divergence for more downside until we got oversold and just chop. The big moves were selling into strength and buying on a divergence. Two big moves on the day. The rest of it was kind of flat. And I am actually holding a little bit more long calls. Did I get out of all of them today? I think I did get out. I got out of everything today, actually. I did sell the other ones. So I'm out of the Carnival Cruise Line. We're in a lot today. I was doing a lot of stuff, so just trying to keep track. Took a couple new setups today. That's for the members. But overall, really nice. And the potash is, one of my favorites. The CSX at the end of the day started to show a divergence. And I don't know if that held up. You can see it right here. So this is interesting for tomorrow, this divergence in CSX railroads. A lower low on the 60, a higher low on the stochastic. And it actually is confirming that divergence. So take a look at that daily. The daily gives us that opportunity. It's a nice little pullback, trying to hold above the 50, trying to hold that 20, pushed up against the 200, bounced back from it. This looks pretty good on the 60. I'm very curious to see if that 60 really gives us a big opportunity here. The bigger downward channel, I like it a lot. CSX, I wrote it down. I wanted to go over it. It's a special one. To watch tomorrow. Now, if we could get this pretty decent reversal candle. This is a big candle. This was a pretty decent candle, and then we reversed back down. So I would watch, this candle here. Anything back above this candle with how things are lined up right now between the daily and the 60-minute stochastic. It just looks good. I would use that. I would definitely use that candle right there as a the candle right there, I should say. Keeps on coming up with circles. Sorry about that. Yeah. So a break above that should get us going. You even could put an argument as an inverted head and shoulders playing out inside of a channel. Head and shoulders and inverted head and shoulders are usually what cause a channel to break down or break higher. So this is actually pretty good. I like the pullback. It does look good. The candle today wasn't good. I think the overall transports were lagging. We compared JBHT. You can see the down day on JBHT, and that could be rotating back down. And all the other rail stocks were also pulling back similar flags, like KSU, NSC. All of them very similar patterns, little flags. So hopefully we get the 60 minutes. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at this one to see if there was a 60-minute divergence on it. It wasn't on this one, but again, the CSX had that. So nice flag, 60-minute divergence. We're ready to rock. So tomorrow this one will be in focus. And, many others. I'm going to start doing a little bit more research now. I just want to get this video out telling you, come on by the show. We're broadcasting the markets live each day. The futures right now are currently, what time is it? Closed. We'll get that opened up in about an hour, and this is where we ended off. But again, there's a lot to be seen here at Day Trading Radio. So join us each day. We start the futures are on overnight, and the real action starts at 9:30 to 4 o'clock. We'll see you then.